Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Sanbonani, I hope you're good. Oh, Shani, I hope you're good on a Wednesday night. It's been a couple head, it's been hectic 3 to 4 weeks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Sanbonani, I hope you're good. Oh, Shani, I hope you're good on a Wednesday night. Perfect. Uh, so let's see what we have today, guys. It's been a busy couple of days. Uh, with Nasdaq continue being at the all-time high, regardless of the fears of inflation. It looks like the market is very resilient. We'll speak about any other thing if you're not gonna get anything on the day trading side. There's a lot, guys, we can speak about, we can discuss. I hope you're good. As you're joining, do not forget to like and subscribe. I just upgraded my internet, but it's still giving me a problem, so I've lodged a complaint. I'm waiting for them to come. So as we go along, you guys have to be patient with me. I'm hoping that eventually I'll get it right. Uh, the aim is to get it right so that we don't have any problems when we stream very well. So that's why we are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just quickly still looking at the market, what I'm looking for. We see Nasdaq at all-time high, we see S&P 500 at all-time high. Very resilient US market. And we see that it held the previous daily low, where that's where support was, pushed back to the upside. The area that we need to mark, and I think it's very important in this case, it's this 4-hour fair value gap. Yeah, I think it held the 4-hour fair value gap today and pushed to the upside, or 4-hour support, doesn't matter how you call it. For me, it's about whether you read or not. So how have you been, ladies and gentlemen? It's winter time in South Africa, so it's a bit cold. And it's really cold. MLO, it's extremely cold. So you guys you have to pardon me. I love the reaction on this for our favor look up for our support. Yeah. How have you been, ladies and gentlemen? Mm. That's why I'm wearing a hoodie. It's cold. So we look like we're gonna hold above this previous daily high. And if it does hold, it's a good thing. Let's see. Also, we held that 1 hour for value gap. It pushed up. Just want to see what's happening there inside the 1 hour for value gap. Because this will be a very strong support here. That will be support here. So if there's any 50 minutes for value gap, if it has not given me any rejection from there, I will look for movements and trades around that area. You're looking at S&P 500. So basically, during the AM session, you have taken London low and Asia low and returned all the way back up. And today there was also PPI. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Um, Leave a comment. I'll appreciate that. I'm just looking at this 15 minutes for value gap as a point of reaction for me. Hold on. Okay, I decided to go short because we've got this 1 minute invasion with an SMT here between S&P 500 and Nasdaq. We have a market structure shift here. So we are holding within this 5 minutes fair value gap. We've seen an invasion of this 5 minutes fair value gap here. So I'm thinking we could move lower. The reason why I took S&P 500, it's the weaker one, unless that can change and Nasdaq starts being the weaker one. But for now, um, Nasdaq is a strong. It's a S&P 500 is a stronger one. Nasdaq it's a weaker one. That is why I took short on that. So which more like I'm risking 5 ticks to make 11 ticks. But let's see how we move. Here we're still holding this 5 minutes, 2 minutes fair value gap. There we invaded it. So I just want to see coming back all the way down to take out this low. That's what my plan is. By the way, it's not always good to short in the all-time high. You rather wait for the market to retrace to look for long. So I don't really like shorting at the all-time high, but I thought this could be a possibility for the market doing what I want. So just taking short. Let's see. Yo, utabulela lena ka fonela yengwe switching off la. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I've been speaking to the kids and the wife, catching up. My wife is not around, so I stay with the kids. So she sometimes calls so she catch up with the kids. Uh, yeah. So I've taken a loss earlier. I'm just s- sitting and see what are we gonna get. So, but we can discuss other things, guys, because to be honest, I'm looking at S&P 500 coming down at 38% retracement. Looking at to come down, looking at 61% the form I would want to enter. And then when you look at S&P 500, I mean Nasdaq, uh, really is the one that is lagging extremely slow. No visible retracement we're seeing, but I'm looking at below 61% as well for possible trade, between 61% and 75% for a possible trade to long both of them. So for now, nothing. I gotta say, sometimes when the market is at the all-time high, it's extremely difficult to get a trade. So that's it. But to save time and anything else, we can look other things. To be fair, it did hold this. Will I have gotten a trade? Nope, I wouldn't. That was weird. Not even gonna attempt any other trade today unless it comes back to what I told you about. So without any wasting time, there is market pairs that I have to look at and do the analysis on for possible long-term trades. Yeah. While waiting for the retracement to happen, let's look at pairs that we can look at and we discuss it. So, as we all know, we quickly do this, and then we discuss this markets. I'll just be watching as what's happening as well, but we'll come back here. There's few things that we need to discuss. So, for the past few days, we've been having news. One of the news that was very critical lately, it's we had CPI and PPI, so inflation data has been coming out from the US lately, and I think it's better to discuss it and really look into it because it's really giving us an idea as to where the market looking to go in terms of inflation. So I have already discussed in the past where I've discussed inflation data in relation to the war. So currently, we see that at some point this is this is one of the highest inflation data for the longest time. If we're to start, um, this is from the 1st of January until today, which is the highest since this year. And when you look at quarterly, I want to look at quarterly. So when you look at the quarterly inflation, we also see the indication that 3.8 is the highest for the longest time. I just want to quickly, I'll show you now quarterly inflation coming into now. Oh, come on, man. It's not giving me what I want. But it's fine. Anyway, let's discuss it. Let me not waste time. Ah. Who said I want that? Just gonna look at it from the past 3 years to show you that. So this inflation data, it's been the worst since 2014, I think. Look at that. So since 2014, the current inflation at 3.8%, it's been the highest since 2014. So the inflation is at its highest. We have seen at some point when you look at 2014 March, the highest we went was 3.5% of inflation, came down back to 2.4. As we called up the Fed did cut rate increase rate, we get back to 2.3. We see it getting out of hand, but these jumps are really ridiculous and they don't look good for the inflation story throughout the world. And this is the indication that the dollar might be strong. And also, we have to look at the 10-year and the 2-year yield in order to determine. Um, in order to determine the next direction of where we're going. So inflation data has been a worrisome. Also, sorry. Sorry about that. So today there was PPI. I didn't even look at the PPI story. So PPI, the focus was 4.9. We oh yeah. Also PPI Producer Price Index is expect it's extremely high as well in the US. So basically inflation is showing us that it's getting out of hand and we shouldn't be taking it lightly. Mm, We shouldn't be taking it lightly. inflation is getting out of hand, then we are likely not gonna get high. Oh, God, I don't know what happened, but I'm itchy. Inflation's out of hand. We look at PPI at four. The focus was 4.9. We got 6%. That's ridiculously high. Again, producer price index, that's ridiculously high. Ridiculously high. So inflation is getting out of hand. And with that being said, in the top setup, we're starting to see alignment in the top setup. Um, pairs that we need to look at, but let's start looking at the top setup and the pairs that we need to look at in terms of the ones that are giving us indication of whether they're bullish or bearish in terms of the edge fund scoring. And then we're going to look for opportunities from there. But for now, we clearly can see that it is them happening. Oh, this woman. It is them happening. Love, pero kufonele ka 9. Tla fonela no. Please. Sure. So, um, top setup. On the top setup, we have AUD NZ, you have AUD CAD, we have AUD USD, we have those are the bullish one, and we have been speaking about the Australian dollar being bullish, and I think something else that is coming in to become bullish. I'm not even gonna hesitate that it's the dollar with the current inflation data. The growth is there in the US. Inflation is out of hand. We see the stock market at the highest point for the year. I mean, all-time high today, which was already up 1.5 for the day, and it's trading at the all-time high. So a lot is happening in the stock market, which yeah, which we should be looking at and thinking. So basically, the economy is doing well, even though oil prices are high, inflation is a problem. I'm gonna be looking at the dollar bullishness. I'm gonna be looking at the dollar bullishness. You need to be careful with that, but also if there's any bears for the dollar, I have to be extra careful as to how I take it. But let's look at the top setup. I've already shown you the top setup. Let's discuss what's happening and where we can look for those opportunities and look for the technicals for those opportunities. But anyway, on the bullish side, we have AUD CAD. I think the Australian against the Canadian dollar has been bullish for the longest time. Where the institutional positioning is bullish, this is supposed to be bullish, but anyway, it's neutral, it's bullish there. You have economic growth is bullish. You have labor market is bullish. The job market slightly bullish by 1+ because of the unemployment rate between focus and that. But anyway, Australian dollar is bullish. It's clear. We can't even fight about that. But something that's on the bears, look at the British pound. British pound is coming in strongly bearish. When you look at the technical bears, institutional positioning is bearish. When or even when you start looking at the economic growth is bearish, inflation is bearish for the British pound, and basically I should be assuming the technicals do align. I might be bearish for for the British pound. Everything is slow. This computer is starting to be slow. I might be bearish for the British pound. So with that being said, let's look at the technicals in relation to this. Um, remember I'm looking for a trade here. I'm stick I'm still looking for lower retracement. So if it has not given me the retracement that I'm looking for, I am not even gonna do anything to it. Let me see. Still quite high. Anyway, let's discuss the pairs that I'm looking for and look at its technicals. AUD CAD. Oh, that's a very strong. That's a very strong market, yeah. Very strong. I was looking for a trade there. That's a very strong one, yeah. But also, if it can give me a retracement lower and look for higher moves, oh, come on. Perhaps I'm gonna look too long. AUD CAD, and another one that's it's on my watch list, and I've never traded this pair, but let's look into it. Oof. Let's look into it. Just looking for technicals. If technicals will align, definitely I'm gonna look too long. Okay. I'm not gonna even hit around the bush. I'm gonna be looking at longing as it retraces back to that low. I think this will be my support in this case. Um, gonna be looking at longing there, but also not forgetting the support here. If that fails, I'm gonna be looking at the support here. The best support will be this one on the daily time frame. On the 4 hours, possible as it breaks above, we could be looking at the 4 hour support um, on the Australian dollar against AUD, AUDNZD. Um, Another one which is slightly bullish, just giving a plus. It's just giving a +5 in terms of the scoring. It's not my favorite. Oh, these guys are going. It held that support. It looks like it's all done and dusted. You could have gotten this such a move before and taken profit on the high, so that you could be done with this. But hey, man, look at these moves. I don't like trading such a thing, but we will be watching and looking at on the best side. I think there's something that I normally trade, which is GPB, JPY, something that I normally trade and is bearish. It's looking clean. Not even gonna go. Gonna be looking at supporting support here. Yeah, I might have to add a limit here. Gonna be looking at shorting GJ here on the support as a retrace higher. I'm gonna attempt shorting GJ. It's giving a -5 uh with obviously institutional positioning being bearish. GDP growth is bearish. We have growth concern in Britain. We have PMI, which is also bearish, which economic growth is bearish. Inflation is also bearish, given that uh, inflation is getting out of hand throughout the world. Um, Only jobs market is bullish. That's why GJ is extremely bearish amongst all others. So this is a short that I could possibly be looking for. as it comes back to that support, I'll have to add a limit there. That will be my support. That I'll add a limit to look for continuation lower. So that's what I'm looking for. And then CAD CHF and GPP CHF, not my favorite, but it tends to move correctly. I'll be extra careful in looking for a trade against. Oh no, the technicals do not align. The technicals do not align. Looking for bears here, they look to be holding support unless it will break. Unless it will break below the support here, close below that, maybe something will happen. But before that, I'm not looking for anything here. Honestly, I'm not looking for anything. Yes, possibilities of a downtrend there, but could you want to short as it retraces on the support here? Yeah, I'm gonna think about it. Yeah, I'm gonna think about it. If it will allow me, I might attempt this short. And then another one, CAD JPY, it's also bearish with USD JPY. With USD JPY, I might be careful in shorting it. The dollar, it looks to be strong. The dollar looks to be strong. Remember, a few weeks back, I tried to short this, took me out, came back down. For now, I'm just sitting on the side. It's holding support unless it starts failing the support. Unless it starts failing this support. If it can fill that support, perhaps maybe I can start to look for short. But before that, no, I'm not gonna look for short. So I'll be looking at GJ. I'm gonna be looking at GPP CHF. Um, and then USD CHF and USD JPY. Just gonna be looking at what's happening with them. Oh, come on. It is bearish, but I'm very careful in. Only thing I'll say, I'm very careful in shorting the dollar. This looks extremely weak, but we might have a problem as the inflation is getting out of hand. I'll be very careful. The last one that I'll be looking at for today is GBP AUD. Very weak pair, very weak, very weak, very weak. I think the only thing I'll say it's extremely weak, extremely weak. See, look at that. Doesn't matter how you mark this thing. This thing is extremely weak. Um, could I potentially get it on support here? Possible, but it needs to really give me a good retracement higher. Maybe I can attempt it. Let me see something. You're looking at about 75. That's a huge move up for me to get a trade. But I will be watching it. I will be watching it. So I think those are the only pairs that I'm looking for. I'm also interested in looking at the 10-year yield. 10-year yield. Look at that. What I've been discussing. Look at yield. I'm interested in seeing TNT. Is it TNT? Uh, It's not this thing, man. GLT. But anyway, I'm forgetting the name of what I'm looking for. GLT. Here we go. I'm looking for 10-year treasury yield. Anyway, GLT. Yep. Exactly as anticipated. TLT is down. You'll anticipate something like that. So it could have went short there. So it is happening exactly as expected. No surprises. But anyway, let's go back to day trading. I showed you everything as what I was hoping for and what I was looking into getting into. Let's see if, oh, okay. The market is already retraced. Far enough for me to start looking for a trade. The market is already retraced enough. Um, can I look for longs? I think I still have enough time to look for longs here. I still have an perfect tap there. And there's one thing I like here as we come back to that 5 minutes fair value gap. Oh, okay. Let's see how we're gonna react in these areas here. Already tapping the 75% mark. Those that are brave could long here. Let me see. Uh, see. Can I jump in there? This might not hold this support, honestly. So as I've got, no, I can't jump in there. Gotta be very careful. It'll be extremely painful if it rejects without me. Oh, look at that. You've entered there. If you entered there, now you look. It's gonna hold. Oh, shucks. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna look too long. Any invasion above here, I'm gonna look too long this. I'm gonna attempt a last long for the day. Could have already went in there as we discussed earlier. Stop loss below, but let's see. Remember, I've already taken a long today and didn't go as planned. This gives me good confluences, man. I'm just gonna wait for it close above there. Now I have to wait. Can't just jump on now. Did I save? Oh, that was stupid. I just have to wait for it close above this high. Then I can attempt a long. Until then, I'm not gonna even attempt. I just wanna see it closing, having a direct inversion gap here. I know when that happens, we might not get the trade as clean as we could have wanted, or a good setup where more like it's a clean. What's this English words? My English words are going now. It's a good entry. I might not get a very clean entry as I want, but I'm gonna wait. Um, I don't wanna jump in prematurely because once you jump in prematurely, you tend to get banned, and I'm not in the mission of that. Patience now. Guess now it's a patience game, man. Still have enough time. Look at S&P 500. It's moving according to the plan that we thought it would move. Okay. How are we looking like here? It close above here confirms my trade. It close above here confirms this trade that I have here. Come on. Do something. Look at that rejection. Just tap directly here and definitely rejected there with this inversion. So I have that is creating a low. Once it breaks above, it will be like a high, a low, creating a lower low there, and then like a high, a lower low there, another high there, and then that looks set for low, higher moves. So that is why I'm not even gonna attempt to say I'm gonna just quickly jump as it moves down. It's not safe for me. Yes, as I said earlier, if if you were looking at what I was discussing earlier here, where you're looking at the 1:3 with this kind of a move here, where if it taps on the 75, you just jump in as it taps to the 75. Stop loss below the 100 mark, looking at the 0. That will be a move again. That would be a very decent move as well. I would never deny this move because you're looking at a very good retracement to 75 of that move. Jump in there, looking at taking out the all-time high, but possibility of the market coming back all the way down to take this low and rejector there like it did earlier on, where it took me out, came back down, and so just trying to play safe to look for proper confirmation. Like any other day where I would look for confirmation. So I guess I have to sit out and watch, but that would be a move as well. Just watching here as well. Let me see. Let me mark this high properly. Damn it. Trouble. Okay. Come on. Close above. If it close above, I might add a limit. If it close and get a direct inversion, I might add a buy limit just above that high. But if not, okay, love the move. Just gonna wait for this 1 minute closure and decide what I'll do with it. Can even enter on the market. Yeah. Okay, I have to enter on the market. Come on, don't freeze on me. Oh, look at that bad fill. Oh, shucks. That was a bad fill. Look how bad this fill is. Yes, sis. Yes, sis. I didn't expect such a bad fill. Yeah, re. Oh, that was a bad fill. Just be looking at that high. Tap that. I'm gonna reduce risk. Oh, such a terrible fill, man. That's terrible. Because this was a point where I was looking to enter. I think my fill was like 3 points away from my planned fill. Yeah, re. Look at that movie. I love it. Close above. Um, it's a bit late toward the end of the power hour. Just wanna the next two close, depending where the next two close are, I might move to break even because this will be my break even point. But that was a bad fill. That is why I don't like entering on market. Could you have buy limit there? That would be in a very clean trade. Just personally, I just don't like. So anyway, that's another move there. That's another 1 minute there. With the breaker, this will be the low. So if you want, you could reduce risk very big time because you'll want that 1 minute to hold because it closed. You want that minute to close. If that holds and close above this high there, and then I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. But to be fair and honest with you, stop loss can be at this low here. Just want to see the next move, where it is. But I'll have a good move up, which you're not guaranteed. So you could reduce risk to that low, but I'm just going to keep it. So this is the last trade for the day. Okay, also, we have an invasion. We have a 1 minute fair value gap there. I think that should hold. If that's hold and get a continuation on S&P 500, that gives me an opportunity to trail stop loss. And basically that's what I want. Let's see. What's this on there? Okay, 38. Close above, I'm gonna move to stop loss, break even. It's towards the end of the session, so first move, we're gonna reduce risk to this low. Let's see if it closes above, risk at break even. Trade above that, risk at break even. Towards the end of the session, guys, anything can happen. I'm just watching to see the next 1 minute. My worry, it's this area here. Just gonna mark that. First like this, break even. And then allow the trade to play out. Risk free. Okay. I think there's no need for me to hold on to risk. Okay. It's traded break even. Yeah. Risk at break even. And then we're just gonna sit it through. I know I got a bad feel from the get-go, so I have to sit it through with such a bad feel. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And you look at S&P 500 reacting on this 1 minute for value gap here, which S&P 500 from the bottom to where it has moved about 10 bars. And my friend here who's following suit slowly, which is the trade that I took, it's that's 0.2%. Ooh, look at that low. Look at this reaction there. You sometimes have to hold through this trade. Yes, I got a bad fill, but a break even is a break even. And if I take a loss and a break even for today, it's fine. We'll see tomorrow. Promise to call my wife now. Let me call her. If it closes above that high, then yeah, possibility of it continuing a high. Let me call my wife now before it's too late. If that takes out the high, I'm gonna move aggressively. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've just taken a break even, and I hate that it took me out on a break even and immediately rejected to go to our direction again. Don't I hate that with my being sometimes, and when that happens, it pains a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice, but it happens. You look at that, it gave me a re-opportunity after this break of structure to come back to this 1 minute fair value gap. Where was my first entry? It came back for a re-entry. Came back for re-entry after the break. So I only want to re-enter there, and there's only one reason is the market can still create a lower low. It's creating lower lows now. I only want to if it could have to go back to the high. I only wanted to come back to my entry. So I think I'm done for the day. Today I took a break even and a loss. So remember, I only take two trades if and when it aligns. And remember, the first move that I discussed earlier on, where I said I doubt was a Fibonacci retracement type of a move. Though it is nicer on such a move, but I just didn't feel like it's something that I want to do. Um, just wanted for more confirmation because the market sometimes tends to be for very volatile and earlier on, so that will be the move that I wanted. Stop loss below there. That's a 2 RR, but my target will be the 3. So it gave a 2 RR, rejected back to where my possible second entry I wanted it to be, and it's rejecting again. Is it my fault that I moved my stop loss early to break even? As can say that I'm just dissecting my possible the trade that I took. Yeah. Others will why didn't you keep your stop loss below the fair value gap? Yeah, you'll still be on the trade. But look, in hindsight, it's easy to say why didn't I? But to be honest, when things like this, yes, I'm saying so because it went straight, it rejected straight to being bullish again. But if that happened and it continued lower, take me out there, I'll be like, why didn't I move my stop loss to break even? So yes, it's a bit itchy because it's directly by the rejection point. That's where my entry was. So that's why it's a bit itchy. But it happens, man. So I'm gonna call this the last day, the trade of the day, and just be analyzing on the long-term trading and look for trades. And one of them is GJ. One of them is GJ. So thank you so much, guys. Let's quickly jump on to I'm done for the day there. Just wanna see what's been happening with my cron. Bye, Lovey. Because I'm looking at my cron, honestly. Oh shucks, it's rejecting Pekai. Oh damn it. Look at that. My cron, it's a beast. Bye, baby. I take this trade. Let me see. It's odd. That's a possible trade though. One turn, but it's odd. Right back now. Right back now. That would be a 75% retracement. That's decent. That's extremely decent, by the way. It's like a 1:3. Yeah. That's extremely decent. Let me just quickly make it like that. Okay. That's extremely decent. I'm gonna look for something like this, definitely. Yeah. Be right back. So, well, this guy British pound in a few. So let me see what's happening with Nasdaq. Now I'll come back. Yeah, I'm not feeling well. Failing to still continue breaking above. Yeah, it's failing. Okay. People are responding to urgent emails, guys. Come on, man. Oh, crumbs. Okay, hold on, guys. Are we good? Alright, oh, come on. Could be good. Oh, sorry. Forgot. I have my limit on GJ with profit below. Um, my profit is below. So you're looking at 161 pips stop and 535 pips take profit as it comes back higher. I'm looking for a trade unless the edge finder changes and starts giving other ideas in terms of GPPCHF, in terms of its bearishness on the British pound. And if you want to ask to quickly discuss the British pound, can quickly do that. But I'm also contemplating a trade like this. Let me attempt it. Let's see. There we go. I am gonna attempt this. Looking at that support here. Yes, it might hold this support and think you could go stop above and think it will come. I just have my own doubts with that. So rather take it here. Hold that support. That will be my second limit. Even if I use that as my take profit, I don't see anything wrong. I know it's one of those pairs that I barely trade, but okay. So I'm short British pound. I'm short the British pound in 2 instances with both my limits are set. Yep. AUD and AUD is not something that I can short now. Yep. It's not something I can short now. So AUD I'm gonna wait for a move here. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching. I'm not gonna have a limit. I just have to be strict on how I'm watching it. Yeah. Okay. So basically, there's an idea of everything that I'm looking for. GBP AUD, will I be too aggressive if I take GBP AUD as well? So I need to decide if I'm taking GBP AUD or I am gonna take BBCHF. With GBP AUD, there is 2 instances where we might not get the full retracement, because this could be the retracement that could happen. So just gonna be watching. Anyway, let's discuss the only 2 pairs that I decided to take and look at why I'm taking it. Where's the Forex scorecard? No, Forex scorecard. Sorry, May, I just got distracted today, man. I will have responded to you. It's good to see you. I'm still at it, brother. Um, so we spoke about GPB, JPY. I'm looking for a Forex scorecard here. One of them, Paris. Um, the scorecard looks good, looks set. Anyway, what I wanted was the economic heat map for both. Look at how strong the Japanese. Look at how strong the growth in the Japanese currency, 75% high, being only affected by CPI and being affected by inflation, which came out lower than expected. However, economic growth looks set in Japan, but on the other side, when you look at UK, it's a total different ball game. Ooh, interesting. Starting to doubt my trade. Hmm. Okay. Looking at this, you look at GDP growth, PMI, service PMI. Look at how good, look at how good how strong the British pound is. I need to choose one battle. With the CHF, okay. I'm just looking go around and just see why I want to short this. Yes, I'm happy with the H finder score. Just quickly gonna do my analysis here. Or else I'm gonna take one of them. Not gonna be too aggressive. Trend on the 4 time frame has changed. COT data, GDP, but Eurozone, Euros barely top of the. So a lot is happening, and now I have to be very careful as to how I'm sorting this out, man. COT data, very strong long trades that have been added. They closed a lot of short trade contracts. They've added a lot of long contracts on the Japanese yen. Uh, Remember, there have been talks that the yen might intervene, so that might be strong for yen because of the intervention. But now you're only looking at we're only looking at come on, dude. So now we're only looking at this change in short long. So they closed about 37,000 short contracts and at long contracts. Basically, they were closing off their short contracts. Institutional, they were closing off their short contracts. When you look at the OT data last week, economic heat map. Interesting. UK is very strong. It becomes very difficult to decide what you want to do here. Household spending has decreased by minus 2.9% in Japan. Unemployment rate increased to 2.7%. Um, you have your GDP growth, quarterly GDP growth with the actual bit supposed to be blue anyway. With the actual bit of 0.2, PMI will also gotten a bit here. So inflation is still a problem, but you're likely to get a high inflation than expected. This is supposed to be blue. 1.3 now it's 1.5. Inflation is increasing in Japan. That's supposed to be blue, yeah. Yep, that's bullish. Hmm. Oh God. Oh, British pound is strong. Okay. Thinking of something, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna remain with the move that I was looking for. I know it's not fashionable at this point in time, but I'm gonna remain with it. I'm gonna just be watching them closely. Okay. That's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, gonna call it a day. Okay, thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Truly appreciate you guys. I know we've been busy. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Come back tomorrow. We'll trade together.